slowly, pulling an ancient-looking register toward him. "One night?" "Yeah." The man hesitated, then slid a key across the counter. "Room 306. Daniel noticed the slight pause before he spoke, the way the man's fingers lingered on the key for just a moment too long. "Everything okay?" The clerk forced a smile. "Of course. Elevator's out, though. Stairs are just down the hall." Daniel took the key and headed toward the stairs. The hallway leading to them was dim, the overhead lights buzzing faintly. As he climbed, he felt an odd sense of unease. The building was quiet, too quiet. Even in an old hotel, he expected to hear something. The hum of a TV, muffled voices, the distant sound of water running. But there was nothing. Room 306 was at the end of the hall. The brass numbers on the door were tarnished, the edges of the wood slightly chipped. As he pushed the key into the lock, a strange sensation crept up his spine, like something just beyond the door was waiting. He shook off the thought and stepped inside. The room was basic: a queen bed, a worn-out desk, a small TV sitting on a dresser. The window was covered with thick curtains, and for a brief moment he had the sudden urge not to open them. The feeling passed. He locked the door, tossed his bag on the chair, and collapsed onto the bed. The rain outside was heavier now, tapping against the window like impatient fingers. Then came the first sound, a soft tap. At first, Daniel thought it was just the rain, but then he heard it again, deliberate, rhythmic. It wasn't coming from the window. It was coming from inside the room. He sat up, his pulse quickening. The noise had come from the closet, a wooden door near the entrance. Another tap. Daniel exhaled sharply. He wasn't the type to scare easily, but something about this felt wrong. He got up and moved toward the closet, each step slower than the last. His hand hesitated on the handle. He knew deep down that he shouldn't open it. But the human mind is a strange thing. It demands answers, even when it knows they might be terrifying. He pulled the door open. Nothing. Just an empty closet. Daniel let out a breath, shaking his head. "Get it together," he muttered, closing the door and heading back to bed. He barely had time to sit down before he heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Louder this time. Daniel's stomach tightened. The sound wasn't coming from the closet anymore. It was coming from under the bed. For a long moment he didn't move. He just sat there, staring at the floor, his breath shallow. Then slowly, he leaned forward. The room was silent except for the rain outside. His fingers gripped the edge of the mattress as he lowered himself, inch by inch, until he could see beneath the bed. His own eyes stared back at him. A face identical to his own lay under the bed, wide-eyed, mouth open in a silent scream. Then it moved. Daniel threw himself backward, scrambling off the bed, his chest heaving. The thing under the bed, the other him, didn't crawl out. It just grinned. Then it whispered in his own voice, "Don't turn around." A chill shot through his spine. Against every instinct in his body, he turned. The closet door was wide open, and someone was standing inside. Daniel never remembered screaming, but he must have, because moments later the hotel clerk was shaking him awake. "Sir, Daniel's eyes
wake up."
flew open. He was still in the bed. The closet door was closed. The rain was still tapping against the window. "Bad dream?" the old man asked, his voice concerned. Daniel sat up, his heart still hammering. Yeah, I guess." The clerk nodded slowly. "You should switch rooms." Daniel swallowed. "Why?" The man hesitated, then sighed. "You're not the first guest in 306.